Hi, I'm Yaakov Horowitz, and this is the first in a series of videos on child safety and abuse prevention presented as a public service of the Karasick Child Safety Initiative of the Center for Jewish Family Life and Project Yes. Today we're going to talk about the 4 components of an effective research-based child safety program and explain how it's possible to train a 40-50-pound child to defend themselves against a 200-pound adult. In future videos, we're going to explain each of the 4 components in greater detail. But for now, in a nutshell, let's go through the 4. Number 1 is no secrets from parents, basically training children that no one is ever allowed to tell them to keep a secret from you. The second is your body belongs to you, the basic notion of personal space and their ownership of that. The third is good touching, bad touching, explaining that some touching is appropriate and other touching in inappropriate spots is bad touching. And the fourth is no one has the right to make you feel uncomfortable, which basically means that the child has a right to walk away from a situation where he or she feels uncomfortable. It's important to understand that an effective child safety program is not about developing the physical strength of your children. It's rather about developing their emotional well-being. It's not about making them powerful. It's about empowering them. It's not about making them frightened about the adults in their life. Quite to the contrary, it's about making the predators frightened of them because they have been educated. Well, what are the types of children that predators are afraid of? Well, they're terrified of children who speak to their parents regularly and whose parents are involved in their lives. They're terrified of children who understand their right to personal space. They're terrified of children who understand the difference between appropriate touching and inappropriate touching and are comfortable speaking about it. And they're terrified about children who understand that they have a right that no one is allowed to make them feel uncomfortable. That's why child safety education is so effective, and that's why you can train 40, 50-pound children to defend themselves against larger and stronger adults. Because as far as child safety is concerned, education is the ultimate power. In future videos, we're going to elaborate on the 4 safety messages and discuss them in greater detail. In the meantime, please feel free to visit our Center for Jewish Family Life Project Yes website at www.kosherjewishparenting.com and take advantage of our free resources there. But for now, let's conclude this video with an analogy that might help explain the power of education and the effectiveness of parental involvement. Imagine a scammer who's working the Miami Beach area trying to find elderly widows and fleece them by selling them phony insurance policies which would require a significant cash deposit. Now, what would that scammer be afraid of? The most frightening thing to him would be if the widow would say something like, "Oh, my late husband and I reviewed every policy for 30 years. I'd love to hear a little more about your product." Or, "My daughter's a CPA. She's down here every few weeks, and I never sign anything without reviewing it with her." Now, in that analogy, the husband is dead. The daughter could be thousands of miles away, but they had the vision and the foresight to educate their wife and mother and prepare her to defend her financial well-being even when they weren't there. Child safety works the same way. It's about teaching your children to defend their physical space and their emotional well-being when you're not there to protect them. The greatest gift that you can give your children is to become educated yourselves about effective, research-based child safety programs and to have the wisdom and the foresight to train your children to protect themselves and remain safe and secure at all times.